Hello everyone. Today we discuss about compensation planning, fourth semester in MBA. So compensation meaning, first of all we discuss about this. And in these blogs, topics covered the meaning of conversation, compensation, characteristics, system, objectives of compensation, importance of compensation, factors affecting employee compensation. So, compensation meaning, system, and objectives of compensation. The term compensation is used to indicate the employee's gross earnings in the form of financial rewards and benefits. Compensation can be also defined a system of rewards that can motivate the employees to perform. It also means a tool that is used to foster values and culture. It is also an instrument that enables an organization to achieve its objectives. The management should ensure that compensation structure is designed after taking into account certain factors such as qualification, experience, attitude, and prevailing rates in the market. Compensation means the reward that is received by an employee for the work performed in an organization. It is an important function of human resource management. Employees may receive financial and non financial compensations for the work performed by them. Financial compensation includes salary, bonus, and all the benefits and incentives, whereas non financial compensation includes awards, rewards, and praise recognitions, which can motivate the employees towards highest productivity. Compensation system. Compensation is a tool used by management for safeguarding the existence of the company. The compensation can be of two types, direct and indirect. Direct compensation, it is basic pay, and dearness allowances, that is DA, and cash allowances, that is CA. And incentive pay, bonus, commission, profit sharing, stock option. And on the other hand, indirect compensation, first legal requirement, the second one provident fund, third uh, gravidity, the next one is pension, then insurance, then medical leave and accident benefits, and also maturity leave, optional sick leave, casual leave, CL, traveling allowances, TA, telephone bills, canteen allowance, club membership. The main characteristics of the compensation system: a hierarchy of pay levels, a hierarchy of jobs, a set of rules and procedures, and qualities required for the moment from one level to another. An organization's compensation system usually consists of three separate components. Each element of the compensation package has a sync or has a link with an individual need hierarchy. All allowances are linked to basic pay in order to motivate the employees when they achieve objectives. Rewards and incentives are incorporated along with basic pay. The retain the employees and to get long term commitments, stock option plan, annual increments and promotions are provided also. Now, objectives of compensation. The compensation should be paid to each employee on the basis of their abilities and training. Compensation should be in the form of package. It should motivate the employees toward increasing productivity. It should be capable of taking care of employees for safety and security needs also. It should be flexible and clear. It should not be excessive. Compensation should be decided by the management as per the norms fixed by the legislations in consultations with the union. Now, importance of compensation. Compensation is important for an organization to consider its mission and vision and its strategies, and then devise the compensation system such that all these components are interlinked and aligned with each other. Compensation comes under the parlance of human resource HR department of an organization. It is the tool that organizations use to manage and reward their employees so that they perform efficiently. The compensation system that company follows should be an attractive one, and it should motivate its employee to work and justify the amenities provided to them by the company. The compensation system should also ensure that the turnover rate remains low and the employee remain motivated, along with other non-monetary perks and incentives. The company offers compensation and benefits to its employees. Companies have to devise a compensation plan based on the position, responsibility, and qualification of an employee. Now we discuss about the factors affecting employee compensation. Everything you need to know about the factors affecting employee compensation. Compensation is a very important issue in human resource management (HRM) and affects the relations between management and workers. Compensation is also one of the biggest reasons of dispute between employers and employees. Employees provide their services to the business. They devote their time, energy, skill, knowledge to the organization. In considerations of this devotion, employer gives compensation to employees. The compensation awarded to the employee is dependent on the volume of effort exerted, the nature of job, and his skill. Besides, there are several other internal and external factors affecting the compensation. The factors affecting employee compensation can be categorized into internal factors and external factors. Some of the external factors affecting employee compensation are demand and supply of labor, cost of living and economic conditions, prevailing wage level, society, government control, labor unions, legislation, globalizations, cross-sector mobility and compensation survey. Some of the internal factors affecting employee compensation are compensation policy of the organization, employers of affordability, worth of a job, employees' worth, the organization ability to pay, job analysis and job description, employee related factors, factors affecting employee compensation, external and internal determinants of compensation. The compensation awarded to the employee is dependent on the volume of effort exerted, the nature of job, and his skills. Besides, there are several other internal and external factors affecting the compensation. Now, external determinants of compensation. There is labor market conditions. The force, demands, and supply of human resources no doubt play a role in compensation decisions. Employees with rare skill set and expertise gained through experience command higher wage and salary than the ones with ordinary skills abundantly available in the job market, but the higher supply of the human resources for certain jobs may not lead to reduction of wages beyond a floor level due to government's prescription of minimum wage level and employee unions bargaining strength. Similarly, these factor by itself does not result in lower pay if the vast majority of available resources are unemployable due to poor skill and low talent. Thus, it is clear that law of demand and supply applies to labor market only to a limited extent. Now, economic conditions. Organizations having state of the art of technology in place, excellent productivity records, higher operational efficiency, a pool of skilled manpower, etc., can be better pay masters. Thus, compensation is the consequence of the level of competitiveness prevailing in a given history. Prevailing wage level. Most of the organizations fix their pay in keeping with the level for similar jobs in the industry. They frequently conduct wage survey and accordingly seek to keep their wage level for different jobs. If a particular firm keeps its pay level higher than those of others in the industry, its employee cost becomes heavier, which may escalate the end cost of the products. This will affect the competitiveness of the firm. On the other hand, if a firm keeps its pay level lower than the prevailing rates, it may not recruit the skilled and competent manpower. Now, government control. Government, through various legislative enactments, such as Minimum Wages Act 1948, Payment of Wage Act 1936, Equal Remuneration Act 1976, Payment of Bonus Act 1965, dealing with provident funds, gratuity, Companies Act, etc., having a bearing on compensation decisions. Therefore, firms have to decide on salaries and wages in the light of the relevant acts. Now, cost of livings. Increase in the cost of living, raise the cost of goods and services. It varies from area to area within a country and from country to country. The changes in compensation are based on consumer price index, which measures the average change in the price of the basic necessities like food, clothing, fuel, medical service, etc. Over a period of time, allowances like dearness allowance, city compensatory allowances are paid to meet the increasing cost of living, and party or party among employees posted at different geographics. Now, unions influence the collective bargaining strength of the trade unions, also influence the wages level. Trade unions enjoy as upper hand in certain industries like banking, insurance, transport, and other public utilities. Therefore, wage structure in such industries and in such union active regions, salary and wage need to be fixed and revised in consultation with the unions for ensuring smooth industrial relation. Now, globalization. It has unshared in an era of higher compensation level in many sectors of the economy. The entry of multinational corporations and big corporates have triggered a massive change in the compensation structure of companies across sectors. There is a salary boom in sectors like information technology, hospitality, biotechnology, electronics, financial services, and so on. Cross sector mobility. Contemporary companies find it difficult to benchmark the salaries of their staff with others in the industry thanks to mobility of talent across the sectors. For example, hospitality sector. Employees are hired by airlines, BPOs, healthcare companies, and telecom companies also. Now, compensation policy of the organization. Firm's policy regarding pay, that is attitude to be an industry leader in pay or desire to pay. The market rate determines its pay structure. The former can attract better talent and achieve lower cost per unit of labor than the ones that pay competitive pay. Employers' affordability. Those organizations which earn high profit and have a larger market share, a large business and multinational and conglomerate companies can afford to pay higher pay than others. Besides, companies' ability to pay higher pay is impaired by sector specific economic recession and acute competition. Organizations base their pay level on the worth of a job. The wages and salaries tend to be higher for jobs involving exercise of brain power, responsibility laden jobs, creativity oriented jobs, technical jobs. In some organizations, time rates are grained or granted to all companies or to all employees irrespective of performance. In such cases, employees are rewarded for their mere physical presence on the job rather than for their performance. However, many private sector organizations follow performance linked pay system. They conduct performance and appraisal more often than not, which provides input for determining pay levels. It distinguishes the high performer from the low performer and the non performer factors affecting employee compensation. Though the commodity approach to labor is not completely correct, it is nevertheless truth that a wage is a price for the services of a human being. The firm desires these services and it must pay a price that will bring forth the supply, which is controlled by the individual workers or by a group of workers acting together. The primary practical result of the operations of this law of supply and demand is creation of the going wage rate policy. So even though practically it is not possible to draw demand and supply curves for each job in an organization, but in general, if anything was to decrease the supply of labor, such as the restriction of particular labor unions, there will be a tendency to increase the compensation. So that's all the video, my friends. If you like my blogs, please subscribe and share my blogs. Thanks again for watching my videos.